Hi there. Welcome to starting your own at-home business with Young Living Essential Oils in association with the Revive Living chapter. My name is Brittany, and I'll give you guys a brief overview about myself and how I got involved in Young Living. I'm in my late 20s. I live in Arizona. I am a cardiovascular sonographer at a Trauma One hospital, and I run a nonprofit business. For as long as I can remember, I've always envisioned myself to be an entrepreneur of some sort and doing something that helps aid people in some way, which hence is why I work in the medical field and started a nonprofit business. For me personally, it ended up not being enough though. I wanted to help people work a business that allowed them the things we are currently deprived of in today's economy. Things like being able to stay at home with kids, take vacations, have a stable living environment, not living paycheck to paycheck, affording extra luxuries, and so forth, which is what brought me to Young Living. Now, I know some of you may automatically be thinking, great, another one of these stupid things. What did I get talked into? Is it too late to get out of this? Where's the close button? And that's totally understandable. Trust me, I have been there. Companies like Young Living, as some of you may know, are a multi-level marketing company or direct sales operation, which automatically translates for most people to an annoying, oversharing sales scam that ruins relationships and is a complete waste of money and time. I myself was predominantly against all direct sales companies. If you were involved in one, I wanted nothing to do with you. And at one point, I decided to try and invest in one, and it was a terrible experience. I promise you, though, with Young Living, there is a way to avoid all that chaos, despite what you've seen other reps do, be successful in this business, and barely lift a finger while doing it. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's not. The problem is most sales reps don't have a business background, and they tend to overcomplicate things. Now, if you're like me, you hate sitting through long presentations, so let's keep this short and simplistic. Before we get started though, there should be an attachment that the person who invited you gave you, and if not, there is a link in the group that you are invited into where you can download this attachment and follow along as we go through this presentation. So this is part one, starting out, and it is the distributor through the executive rank. So let me give you guys a quick history lesson about Young Living and how they got started. So Young Living started out in 1993 by D. Gary Young and his wife Mary Young. Through an organic herb-based farm, essential oils were created, and with Mary's experience in direct selling, Young Living became a huge hit for its many natural medical benefits. Some of you may have heard about the FDA letter that was issued, and we'll dive into that. So unfortunately, in 2014, despite Young Living's team of doctors, the FDA issued a warning letter to Young Living because of customers and distributors claiming its natural healing abilities without FDA approval, which, if you guys don't know, it's a $1 billion process per medication, or in this case, per oil. Young Living has since changed how its oils are presented. While essential oils can be medically beneficial, they do have their limitations. It is vital to be aware of these limitations when going into this business. For example, while Thieves has been said to have great viral and bacterial fighting agents, it will not help you while you're having a heart attack, obviously. It nonetheless cannot be presented that Thieves essential oil has these aiding compounds. A customer can take note in their head of how it may medically help them, but Young Living must now present it as a purifying and pleasant aroma that can be used. On another note, Young Living, well known for their products, is also known for their multi-level marketing or direct sales business model. This was essentially implanted in the beginning when the business started, and it has proven to be successful since. So, what is an MLM company? It is a system for selling goods or services through a network of distributors that works through recruitment. You are invited to become a distributor or contractor or consultant or associate, sometimes through another distributor of the company's products and sometimes through a generally advertised meeting. If you choose to become a distributor with a direct selling company, you'll earn money both through the sales of the MLM's products and through recruiting other distributors by receiving a portion of the income these distributors generate. And when those distributors recruit distributors of their own, you'll earn money on the income they generate too. The distributors that you sign up with your multi-level marketing plan and the ones they sign up, in turn, are called your downline. The distributor that originally recruited you and whoever is above him or her in the recruitment chain is called your upline. Often, the distributor who recruits you will give you some help getting started, including training. It is important to note that MLMs are not pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes are illegal because there's no actual product, only a fake investment. Therefore, the first level participants make money while others fail with no product to market. So, it is extremely important before we dive in to view this with a business mindset and not a side gig that is about pampered parties, bugging friends, family, coworkers, and hundreds of Facebook posts, because this business could not be further from that. It is only complicated by distributors who haven't evaluated this from a business standpoint. Think of the company that finally picked up Dr. Spencer, who invented Post-it notes. Many companies like the idea of having sticky notes, but didn't see it as a good business opportunity that could lead to substantial growth until he fixed some of the issues. Think of the show Shark Tank. The hosts like a lot of what people have to bring to the table, but they don't see it as a good business opportunity, so they turn it down. Bear in mind, while Young Living's products are great and extremely beneficial, your main focus is the business aspect, because that's what is going to make your business successful. It is a prime business opportunity, more so over a light product. So, why do most MLMs fail? Most of us have likely tried an MLM before and had a bad experience with it, or weren't as successful as we anticipated. You'll even notice when looking at charts that most companies, their distributors are not successful. So why is it that most MLMs fail? Here are their top 3 out of 4 reasons. The first reason is they don't fulfill their role. Multi-level marketing is only successful when everyone puts in a team effort and fulfills their role. Remember this phrase throughout your career in Young Living. Success only comes if everyone does what they are supposed to do. It is a team effort. This has to absolutely be replicated and carried out constantly. Most people are all in when they first sign up, only to give up approximately 2 months in. If you do this, you are setting up yourself for failure and your downline up for failure. Imagine the following scenario. You are an ER physician working in a trauma bay. A trauma 1 patient, which if you guys don't know is the worst of the worst, comes in, and you along with 7 other people come into the room. Each of you has a different role as shown in the diagram on your sheet. You have your role as an ER physician to fulfill, so you are therefore responsible for orchestrating results, progress, and stability from the time the patient is brought in to the moment they are taken up to the operating room, aka surgery. Since you are not experienced as well as your coworkers in cardiology, radiology, surgery, etc., you must rely on them to do their job, and they must rely on you, since they are not experienced ER physicians, to communicate what you're needing as well as updating them on the patient's progress. You are, in this case, known as a conductor or ringleader in this scenario. If you don't fulfill your role, it leads to automatic failure. Your role in Young Living is to oversee your 6 and be available to them. Now, what do I mean by your 6? Don't worry about that right now. We'll get into it in just a second. The second reason MLMs fail is they choose the wrong people. Imagine you are the same ER physician and you receive the news that they are opening up 6 more hospitals. They inform you that they want you to be the one who conducts the interviews and overall decides who will receive the position at each hospital. After a handful of candidates, if you had the choice between a doctor who had the proper education, experience in the field, and was passionate about their position, as opposed to someone without a degree, formal training, and was careless about their job, you would obviously choose the first candidate. You would then look for these same qualities when conducting your search at the other hospitals. Choose the right people for your Young Living business. Choose people who you know will be able to get 6 people. Do not necessarily choose who you are closest to. Now, the third reason is they don't follow protocol. Going back to the scenario we've been using, as the ER physician, your job is to teach those 6 new doctors a protocol that you've been taught as an ER physician when it comes to traumas. You're given a formula that has been proven to work by physicians before you. When you stray away from the simplicity of it or try to incorporate other factors that aren't quite necessary, it is a recipe for disaster. You teach these physicians what you've been taught so that they can one day teach future ER physicians what they've been taught. Protocols are formulated because they have been proven to work time and time again. Follow the exact protocol in this presentation. Now, let's look at Young Living as a business. So, how is Young Living different from other MLMs out there? So first things first, let's look at the monthly average of the top earner. Young Living's top earners earn around $141,000 per month on average. Other MLMs, their top earners earn around $35,000. Don't get me wrong, I would love to make $35,000 extra a month, but 141 sounds just a little bit more appealing. So PGV, which is going to be the second video that you guys will look at, but not something to worry about right now. Just so you know, for the moment, Young Living's PGV is $1,000 at silver and up. Other MLMs, it's around $3,000 and up. Products, Young Living has over 8 lines of different products. Other MLMs have about 4 on average. Young Living was founded in the early 1990s. Other MLMs weren't about until early 2000s. The perks of personal volume, again, something we don't need to worry about right now, is free products. MLMs don't really have any perks. Bonuses with Young Living start earlier, they tend to be more, and they tend to be higher. Other MLMs, they usually start later, they're less, and they're lower. Marketing with Young Living, you don't have to do anything for. Other MLMs, it's a constant, everyday posting on Facebook, texting people, consistent parties, and so forth. With Young Living, you do not have to do any of that. So let's look at some of the Young Living terminology that we're going to be using and will help you understand things a bit better. So the first one, you've been hearing it already. It's MLM. It's multi-level marketing. This is the type of company that Young Living is. Upline. This is a person who enrolled or sponsors you and those above them. So let's say my friend Ariana enrolled me. She is my upline. Downline. Those who you enroll, sponsor, and those below them. So if I enroll my friend Mary and she enrolls Kelly, they're my downline. A cross line is someone across from you. So my friend Ariana, who is my upline, she enrolled my friend Kara, who would be my cross line. Leg. A leg is the sales organization that extends from each personally sponsored distributor. The qualification status of a leg is determined by the OGV in that leg. So a leg is basically, like I said, I enroll my friend Mary. She is one of my legs. PV. A PV is personal volume. Your points purchased from products. So if I purchase $50 worth of products from Young Living, it usually equates to 50 PV. OGV, organization group volume, which is your PV plus your entire downline's PV. PGV is personal group volume. This does not start until silver ranking, so we're not even going to worry about that until the next video. ER is Essential Rewards. It distributes your orders each month. It is part of the sign-up process with starting Young Living and virtually the exact same thing as placing an order, except it automatically comes out on a certain day of the month that you choose. So what is personal volume? Let's get more in depth about that. Many products sold by Young Living have a personal volume amount assigned to them. The volume of products that are purchased is reflected in PV. PV is one of the requirements for ranking within the compensation plan. Personal volume is the amount of product you purchase each month. The rate stays the same in order to remain active in the business and receive your paycheck, which is 100 PV. This essentially adds up to about $100. Now, keep in mind, this does not include shipping or taxes. Your job is to purchase 100 PV a month. Don't worry about having the extra money, as we will get into that in just a minute. So, organization group volume, otherwise known as OGV. Organization group volume is the entire sales volume of a sales organization. This can be determined by calculating the sum of the PV of all the distributors and customers within a particular organization. OGV accumulates throughout each commission period. For example, you purchased 100 PV in September. Your downline, again, like I said, my friend Mary, and then the other 5 people I've chosen for my 6 people, they purchase 100 PV each. You then have an organization group volume because your PV counts as well of 700. So my 100 PV plus my 6 people and their 100 PV equals 700 organization group volume. Another good way to think is your overall group volume for that month. Now, if my 6 people have their 6 purchase their minimum of 100 PV, then your total would be 4,300 because 6 times 6, so my 6 people find 6 people each is 36 times 100 PV each is 3,600. Now, my PV and my 6 people, their 100 PV is 700. This equals 4,300 OGV. Let's talk about starting up and compensation. Remember throughout this presentation, I kept mentioning 6, your 6. So to start off on the right foot, you must find 6 people who would be interested in starting the business with you. Only these 6 people will be your responsibility. Then their 6 will be their responsibility, and so forth. Again, be sure to choose wisely and to choose someone you can help out. This team will be your foundation to growth and success. Note, a lot of you may ask, why not 3 people or 5 people? We'll look more into that reason why in part 2. So again, find your 6 people. So finally, let's talk some money here. This is Young Living's compensation plan. Remember, we talked about PV and OGV. So this video is just for the distributor, their executive portion. So if you look here, you'll see PV, personal volume. Ignore the 50, but look at the 100. This 100 stays consistent. It does not change. It does not get higher, which is nice. So $100 worth of products a month. Now, OGV. This is the only thing that's going to grow, and that's because your team is growing. You find 6 people, they find 6 people, and those 6 find another 6, which is why your OGV gets higher. So PV is you, OGV is everyone under you. Do not worry about the rest of this stuff right now. So let's talk about this. I know first off, it is a lot of numbers. Do not stress about these numbers whatsoever. Do not sit here and try to formulate all these composed numbers. You don't need to worry about that. Mostly what you're going to be focusing on is the highlighted stuff in green. So let's look at the top right here. This is you. Now, in order to be successful, your OGV needs to grow. Your personal volume, as mentioned in the last slide, does not change, but your OGV grows because people have to be found. So first things first, you go out, you find your 6 people, you purchase your 100 PV. Now remember, $100 does not always equal 100 PV. It is important when placing your ER orders that you total up to 100 PV. Again, $100 does not always equal 100 PV. You can check this in your shopping cart before checking out. You must also inform your 6 members of this. Please note, due to taxes, shipping, and leveling out to $100, you will likely pay around $120 to possibly $140, maybe even less. So you find your 6 people, you purchase your 100 PV. You teach them to purchase 100 PV. So if your 6 people each purchase 100 PV and you include yours, as the previous example mentioned, you are at 700. So your level 1's at 600 PV. Now at 500 PV, which is going to be your person number 4 right here, you are already qualified to be a star. You've already moved up a rank just like that. So those 6 people, they find 6 people. Now, as mentioned, 1 times 6 equals 6 times 100 PV is 600 plus. So we will add 600 as we go on. So person number 1, they find 6 people. Person 2 finds 6 people, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everyone finds 6 people. So what happens? Well, you order your 100 PV. They order their 100 PV. Their 6 order 100 PV. So this obviously adds up as it goes along. Now, person number 3, by the time you reach their 6 people, you are at 2,500 PV. Congratulations, you moved up and you're a senior star. By the time you get to person number 6 and their 6 people, you are already at executive. Just like that, you moved up really quick. So your level 1 finds 6, your level 2 finds 6. This adds up as we go along, but we are just now looking from distributor to executive. It really is a simple formula, and I cannot stress that enough. You order your 100 PV, your team orders theirs, and that's it. You succeed. So let's get into cash. So we're going to ignore the PGV right now and the leg stuff. But again, note PV stays the same. OGV grows. And here is your compensation right here. So let's look at the compensation plan. This is from, again, distributor to executive. I know a lot of you are looking at this right off the bat and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not a lot of money. Just know that when we get to the second video, looking at Royal Crown Diamond, you end up making $154,020. You times that by 12, you're making $1.8 million per year. So don't let this, discourage you in any way, because we're just talking about the bare basics here. The second video is what is really going to inspire you to jump on board. So, as mentioned in the previous plan, you have your levels here. So your 6 are going to be level 1, and your 6's 6 are going to be level 2, and their 6's 6 are going to be level 3, and so forth. You get to level 4 or 5. So you find your 6 people. You get 8% on your first level. That's $8 each. So person 1, you get $8. You have 2 people, you get 16, and it goes up to 48. Then you come down where their 6 people are, and you start moving up. So 5 times 6 is 30. You're at $78, which is the average for star. You may have noticed on the previous slide there are only 2 of these columns here, and yet there are 3 on this one. The reason for that is I wanted to include the average each rank. So $78 is the average about 4-star, and then it moves up to where number 6, their 6, you're at $228. It goes on to where their 6 finds 6, and you end up at around $1,092. So I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but again, it adds up to way more in the next video. So don't be discouraged. Some of you may have asked previously, well, where am I going to get this $100 from to meet my 100 PV every month? Again, if you're doing this correctly, where you find your 6 and you train them to find 6 and so forth, you will have no problem taking $100 out of your paycheck and putting it toward product. So you essentially will not be taking any money out of your bank account. You won't be borrowing money, etc., because you will get a paycheck. You'll take part of that paycheck and move up. Let's talk about bonuses. So when you first start out, there is the fast start bonus. It is 25% of PV per person on your first level. So your 6 people for the first 3 months. This equivalates to $150. Now, let's say your 6 finds 6 pretty quick. Then you get 10% as opposed to the 5% PV per person on your first level 6 people for the first 3 months. That's $360. So what's 150 plus 360? It's 510. On top of this, you get the Start Living bonus. It's $25 for your new enrollees who sign up with a premium starter kit, which you have to purchase when starting this business. So right there, your 6 do that, and it ends up being $670 right off the bat. But we'll talk about something later in this presentation called acceleration, which is vital when doing this company so that you can move up quick and make more money quickly. So eventually, $670, well, a very nice amount. It will soon seem not like it's very much compared to what you're gonna be making. So, possible dilemmas that are going to arise and how you can beat them in this business. To say there wouldn't be a couple challenges ahead would be like the blind leading the blind, which unfortunately is what most reps do and why they fail. So here are the possible dilemmas you or your downline could face, and here's how to beat them. So the starter kit is $180. You might, or your downline, might be paying out close to $280 as opposed to $180. This may possibly happen to you or your 6 members, but it will happen to someone one time. Let's say you sign up on the 30th of September. You've met your 100 PV for the month of September. On October 1st, you sign up your 6. On the 8th of October, your 6 sign up their 6, and so forth. So this grows an immense amount. So you have your 100 PV in September that you met. So if you would have had people sign up then, you get your paycheck here on the 20th, because paychecks from Young Living are sent out on the 20th of each month. So your 100 PV is met in September, but here we have the issue in October where, your 100 PV isn't met. So how are you going to get a paycheck in November when you have no PV in October? The recommendation in this case is to pay on the last day of the month your 100 PV, and then you're only waiting 20 days to get your $100 back, and then actually way more on the 20th of November. So that is why you might be paying out close to $280 as opposed to the $180. So you're moving up in rank fairly quickly because your 6 are signing their 6 up and so forth. So it's a temporary thing you have to give up, unfortunately. But regardless, you're going to be making way more money, the very next month. Another dilemma is I can't find people. So maybe you're having a hard time finding your 6. It's important when signing up you join the Facebook group, even if it's under a fake Facebook account, so that you can have help. We work hard in this group to make sure you get your 6, even if it means pulling in other people we know. Find out what's holding back people you know from jumping on board, and we can help you overcome it. Remember, once you move up, to share the people you know who are interested. This is, again, a team effort, and although it may not possibly help benefit your downline, I promise you and I guarantee you there will come a time when someone on your team, it might be your level 3, your level 4, they need an extra person, and you'll look to your cross line for help. Everyone on this team is here to help one another succeed. The next dilemma is I don't have $180 to $280. Most of us do not. So here are some quick ways that you can make money for your starter kit, and you can repeat it the next month if needed. The easiest one is to donate blood or plasma. Payout for both is $70 a week. The next option is to sell items laying around the house, have a mini garage sale, sell stuff on SwipSwap, Craigslist, etc. On your next paycheck, or spouse is asked to do a one-time tax-free paycheck, you will have to change your tax form, but can change it back right after. Hospital employees happen to do this 1 to 2 times a year when on overtime, and there's usually no penalty for it. So again, do a tax-exempt paycheck, change your info right back, and you'll get a lot more money in. You can also cash coins at the bank, open a bank account. Some banks offer $200, $300 just for signing up. And if you are overly concerned about losing money, Young Living offers a full refund for unopened packages up to 30 days, so there's no risk at all when doing this. So, how to be successful in Young Living? The first key thing here is going to be motivation. The hardest part is the beginning, finding your 6 and getting them started. After that, it really is smooth sailing. You may need a little motivation to help you get through your first 1 to 2 months. So here are some motivation tips. Make a list of the people you can help. Maybe it's your husband staying at home more. Maybe it's your brother with a health condition. Maybe it's a charity. The list can go on and on. Calculate how much debt you have and imagine it gone. Go to new housing developments and walk through their model homes. Imagine yourself living there. Maybe you want more kids. Think of how this income can help support that. Whatever motivates you, use the goal sheet provided to help you refer back to when you feel stuck. So success. What does success look like? Well, first off, find your 6 quickly and teach your 6 to find their 6 quickly. I mentioned it just a little bit ago, but acceleration is the key to being successful in this business. Literally, the quicker everyone finds their 6, the quicker everybody moves up. Oversee your 6 and be available to them. Don't overwhelm yourself too much with downlines. If everyone oversees their 6 and stays responsible for themselves, it should be a smooth and successful process. 2, choose the right people for your Young Living business. Choose people who you know will be able to get 6 people. Again, don't necessarily choose who you're closest to. 3 is follow the exact protocol in this presentation. Invite your 6 to this presentation. They are every Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Arizona time because we don't do daylight savings here. So get your 6 here, get them here quick to the next meeting available so that we can get everybody going, everyone moved up, and everyone making money. 4th thing, make sure you're meeting your PV every month. And 5 is use the Facebook group to your advantage when needed. So, how do you invite people? That can be a tricky one. When talking to someone who is in my crossline, we have gone over about what the best method was. Now you can go up to them and say, hey, I got a great business opportunity. I want you to jump on board. And they may do it, but people tend to not show up to things when they feel that pressure. So the first thing is my friend is giving a presentation and needs help getting feedback. She's giving away free products. Would you be interested? The second thing might be, I'm wanting to start a business. Would you listen to a short presentation online to help support me? No pressure at all to sign up. I more so just want your feedback on what you think. 3, you can say, I know you're having trouble with fill in the blank, finding a second job, or would love to fill in the blank, stay home with kids. I have found a way to start fill in the blank, making extra income, and thought of you. There's a presentation online this Thursday. You should check it out. I'll be there with you the whole time. No pressure. I'm just trying to help out. Putting that pressure on people makes them not want to show up, not want to come. So the important thing is to remove that pressure, get your 6 people in, get them to watch this presentation and see that they too can very easily, without having to lift a finger too much, make extra money. All right, let's wrap up this presentation. So on the sheet provided, I give you an area to list your 6 people, invite them to a seminar on, which would be this Thursday. You'll sign up. There's a video on how to do all that, so don't worry too much about what you see here where it says select the at-home kit, enroll essential rewards. Don't worry about that. I have a whole video on that. The important thing you need to do though is join the Facebook group Revive Living if you already haven't. You'll attend the next 2 seminars, your 6 members first meeting as well as their first level members. You don't have to listen to this all over again. You can get them in, walk away from the computer for an hour, come back, say, hey, do you need anything? Make sure you take 100 PV from your earnings each month and place your order. Taxes and shipping do not count as mentioned. You will likely pay a little above $100 with the paycheck you generated. On the 20th of each month, ask your 6 members 3 questions. Did you submit your 100 or 1,000? Don't worry about that part. PV order. Did you check in with your six? Do you need help anywhere? All in all, you pay a one-time fee of $180. You attend 3 meetings total, and you take a certain amount out of your paycheck to pay for products each month. This adds up to less than 10 hours a month for your first month with a generous compensation above most jobs. After your first month, you don't have to put in 10 hours. You probably don't have to put in more than an hour of doing this. And yet you'll likely make more than you do at your current job. This business is a team effort and depends on commitment, dedication, motivation, and as mentioned, acceleration. So remember, acceleration is the key to success. Make a decision and a commitment with your six that you will change your lives. You want to quickly secure your six who you can depend on. Remember, you're responsible for them only. Don't stress over your level 2, 3, 4, etc. If everyone helps their six, it will not only guarantee success, but it will make them move extremely quickly up in rank, which equals more money for everybody. Eventually, after some time and everyone getting used to a system, you will only have to worry about placing your order every month. At most, if you have someone outside your six interested in Young Living later on, you'll place them accordingly in your downline under someone who may not have their six, and they'll be the ones to help them at that point. So, if anyone has any questions, you can personally message me, you can ask the person who invited you, but invite your six to next week's meeting at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and please let me know if you're having any trouble at all. If you feel like you're ready to go, you can sign up today. You can watch a tutorial video on how to sign up and start your Young Living business right away. Also check out the Essential Rewards video. Then invite your six to next week's presentation to get yourself on the fast track. Message me or upline for more info. Also, be sure to check out part 2 of this introductory video to learn the rest of the compensation plan. Thanks, guys.